Cheat Code.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pickleball Cheat Code, the show for competitive pickleball players who are looking to level up their game. We focus on advanced strategies for experienced players, stuff only the pros really know. I'm Brodie Smith. I'm a 5.5 plus level player and a dedicated coach, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Tanner Tomasi.
Hey everyone.
Tanner is a 6.0 plus rated player and an APP gold medalist. Today, we are covering the secret to playing confident in pickleball. And at the end of the episode, we will be recapping my latest tournament. If we've done anything to improve your game, share this show with your pickleball community. Tanner, I want to kick things off with a hot question here. You ready?
Hot question.
What's more important to you? A 5.0 level confidence or a 5.0 level game? Take that how you will. How you will.
I like the question. I would say it's hard to choose one and not the other, but if I had to choose one, I would say 5.0 level game, just because I'm not sure what level the player with 5.0 like my mom has 5.0 confidence perhaps, but she definitely is not a 5.0 player. So,
well, shout out to your mom. Does your mom's 5.0 level confidence help her game?
She does not actually have 5.0 confidence, but
okay, well, if she did,
I think it would help her game, but only to a certain extent. Like if you don't know how to hit a dink, you know what I mean?
Of course, 100%. I mean, confidence, it comes from, just knowing your strengths, knowing what you're good at and what you need to lean into in order to really define your play style, lean into that further, and then also being able to adjust accordingly, whether it's in a match or tournament, so on and so forth. But Tanner, on a scale of 1 to 10 for you personally, how confident of a pickleball player are you?
I'd say everybody has self-doubt. I would say I'm going to pretend you said that I can't choose 7 because that's what like everybody chooses. So I would say
no, you can choose 7, Tanner.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with 8 for confidence. Maybe higher. I think that if you lack confidence, you have no chance. You have to truly like walk the walk and believe it. So I'm going to go 9 for confidence when I'm playing off the court. 0.
You said 8.
I raised it to 9.
That's fair. Okay, you raised it to 9. 9 is your final answer.
Yes.
Why is it a 9? And has it always been this way? Like when did you get to level 9?
I think I got confidence. Definitely for sure was when I won the Newport tournament. I think that really started having me believe it. Before then, I didn't really believe it. In that tournament, we actually almost lost our first round. We were down 9-10, 1 in both games. First game we were down 9-10-1. We won like 12-10. The second game we were down 9-10-1 and defended them and won the second game. So I think if we lost that and we were out of the tournament, me and my partner probably would have broke up, I would assume, and then who knows what would have happened. The dynasty would have never started if there is one. But
that's crazy. The domino effect of one tournament, one match, what that can lead to. Maybe you would have never won a gold. Who knows?
Yeah, I agree.
Knowing you and your level, like you easily could have, but you never know where things will go. So that's an interesting take there. I like that.
No, I agree. I think confidence is everything because I'm like really good in practice. And then if I go to the tournament and I'm terrible, it could only be one thing. It's only confidence, like nerves, all that stems from confidence. So I think really like truly believing it and knowing your opponents are just as nervous is the key to playing confidently.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, 100%. And how do you, so obviously confidence is clearly, important and especially just for a 3.0 level player to a top pro. It's so paramount to any match you're playing, whether it's rec, mainly tournament. Obviously that's what we're going to be discussing here from a confidence level. That's where it really matters. But how do you build that confidence? How is that something that how have you gotten to the level of that 9 out of 10 of confidence you're at right now today?
I would say it comes in like kind of like with all my answers. It comes with the drills and knowing that I do have the skill. It's just having the skill portray in the moment. And that comes from a lot of reps. So I think I've definitely done the reps. Another way that I have confidence is like, and I'll say this to my partner, Richard, when we play, I mean, we've practiced together against Ben Johns. We've practiced against Federico Stastard. I'm like, dude, if we're playing Ben Johns on the other side, like these two random guys in the APP, you know what I mean? there's no comparison at all. Like we shouldn't lose if we have that kind of mindset and mantra. And I think that really helps with the confidence, just playing people that are like the best in the world,
So, I mean, speaking of Ben Johns, what's your mindset? You go in a tournament right now. It's a PPA finals. You're going against Gabe Tardio and Ben Johns. What is your mindset? What is your confidence level going into that? Realistically, like, be honest.
I would say my confidence would be like a 2 going into it.
What?
I mean, with them, it'd be different, but I would try my best. And the biggest thing people do when they play people that are significantly better than them is they try to like go for too much on everything. So I would really try to just tone everything down, hone it in, and just play my game and just kind of treat it like any other match.
I mean, so here's my thing. If I'm going against Ben, and look, I know I'm not even as good as you, even though I think I'll be eating skinnies, but
You are.
thank you. My point is, if I'm going against Ben and Gabe, I need my confidence. If I'm going to have any chance of getting some good points on the board to win, I need to have the full confidence that I'm better than them and I'm going to beat them. Whether I believe it or not, I'm going to find a way to convince myself. I feel like that's my only chance to perform at the highest
You know what?
level.
I want to change my answer now that
that I convince you.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer to a 9, back to a 9.
Okay, that's what I want to hear.
I feel like when I do play those better people like that, I think I'm honestly I play better in general. Where if I play like lower end people, I think I slack off, do stuff with them. I know I can't slack off every point,
Exactly.
So I change 10.
Yeah. That's so now you keep doing this. You keep going up. Now you went from a 9 to a 10. Yeah, no, I like that. I think confidence is clearly so important. We see top athletes do this all the time. And there's a way to separate being overly cocky and stuff. And we'll get into this later, or, truly believing in yourself and finding a way to truly, truly convince yourself that you are the best player in the court is so, so, so important. And I even created a list going into this, and I want to run through this with you and get you to rate my list as we go through it. We'll go through it together of the top 6 ways to become a more confident player, to set yourself up for success. So number 1, you already said this, drill. Drilling is the most important way to build that confidence. It's above all, it's number 1, because muscle memory is what gives you confidence. It's something that you can subconsciously just lean back into when you're in an intense match, in an intense moment. You don't know what to do. Being able to lean into what you know, what feels right, that's always going to connect the dots to playing better and then resulting in more confidence.
Right.
I feel like that's got to be number 1, right?
Number 1.
Not even a question.
No question.
Cool. No question. Okay. Number 2, to be more confident, you already mentioned this too, which I love, is playing people that are better than you, especially in rec, but across the board. So competing more, trying to play higher level in rec tournaments. Like you said, you're playing Ben Johns. If you can tell yourself, hey, if I can go against these players and, maybe you're winning a few here and there in rec or whatever it might be, making sure you're stacking yourself up against the top players as much as you can, whether it's just in your local neighborhood, your local community, your city, the world, it doesn't matter. All of that will give you some level of confidence. Fair?
Fair.
Love it. Okay, here's a third one. This is what I use sometimes. It's kind of it's interesting, is pretend the people that you play against suck. I don't know if you've ever tried this, but sometimes I realize when I'm drilling with my dad, who's he's probably a 4-0 player, but I can just work in and transition every single point all day long. And then sometimes when I'm playing against like a 6-0 plus player, it's easier to get tight because I'm thinking about like how good they are. And like, if I don't hit this drop perfectly, they're going to rip it back at me. You have to stop all that and really simplify the game. I picture my dad. Sorry, Dad, I hate to use you as this example. I know he's going to watch this. Dad, I'm sorry, but I'll picture in a tournament that I'm dropping to you because it makes it easier for me. And I'm like, you know what? This guy sucks. I can drop against my dad all day long. So using that as a mindset to be more confident, I think visualizing that you're just that much better than the other player can be helpful. Have you ever done that? Is this something that you've tested or trialed out?
I think I've tested that of just assuming the other players are a lot worse and you can get away with stuff. I think that could work to an extent to boost the confidence.
It's a good thing to mix up and maybe throw in there. But
yeah, I agree with that.
And then number 4 on this list is to take risks. if you want to be confident, I think you need to lean into what you do well and being able to, try unique shots. If you're just going to play reserved and play on your heels the whole time, you're not going to have a confident game. So being able to take those risks, try some speed ups, try some heavy drives will help you play a lot better. I even created my own quote for this. Are you ready? I'm excited about this one. Hold on. Go for big plays. Don't revert back to your old ways. I even butchered.
Oh, I like it.
Is that good? Is that good?
I like that.
I'll say it one more time. Go for big plays. Don't revert back to your old ways. Yeah.
That's it.
I'm proud of that one.
That's a good one.
Number 5. All right, I'm moving on here. Number 5 thing for confidence and building your confidence is the next play mindset. And we've talked about this regarding the mental game in pickleball is you have to, if you just hit the worst shot in the entire world, or even the best one in the entire world, we're always focusing on what's next in your next play. Whether it's good or bad, we just got to focus on the present, move forward. That will naturally just kind of revert back to confidence in general. So having that mental part of the game is huge. I feel like, is there any examples for you in a tournament where this has happened where maybe you hit 5 bad shots in a row or 5 incredible shots in a row? Like, are you able to stay in that present moment? Is this something that you kind of work on as you're playing for your mental game?
I think this is something that helps. I don't think it's a bad thing for me. If I hit a couple good shots in a row, I tend to get like way more aggressive, trying to take more court, go for more stuff. So I feel like it's a blessing and a curse. Like it's it's good and it's bad. But I definitely like if I'm playing good, I'll play more of the court, which could make me more of a threat, more dangerous, which could give my opponents problems or make me miss. But I feel like I don't miss much when I'm confident. I feel like that's really all that it is, you know?
That's a good point. It's more so ignoring the bad versus ignoring the good. You don't want to it's always about not riding the highs too high and the lows too low, right?
Right.
But using the fuel of amazing shots and big plays. We've seen this with you. You get amped up, Tanner. You get jacked up.
I've been calming it down.
You have okay. Well, let's talk about that. Let's take a step back here. You've been known to get jacked up, even at the littlest point. Let's go. Tell me about it. Why are you calming down more? Is this helping you? Like I want to hear this from you.
I feel like pickleball. I don't know. I feel like I definitely play better with the extreme energy, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's not really a good look. That's my main.
You're more worried about the optics than the confidence.
I'm more worried about the optics because I think my reputation is really what I have. You know what I mean? In pickleball, I don't want to kind of tarnish it. I guess you could. Yeah. It depends on the person, but for me, like I do care about like the way I'm perceived, and I don't want to be perceived as somebody just screaming at the top of my lungs. You know,
of course. But does it truly help you play better and play more confident when you are doing that?
Okay. I think it also strikes fear in my opponents. Like we're not going to be able to beat these guys. So just screaming at the top of their lungs.
So at the end of the day, you're playing for money. You're playing for, you're not doing anything bad. It's not like, we've talked about before on like a one wrong call you made on the line. Like that's different. And we're not talking about bad line calls. That's completely different. We're talking about getting amped up. To me, like if it's going to help you play better and you're more likely to win, and optically you're a little antsy and some people might perceive it as annoying. I don't.
Right.
Do you think it's worth it? Like, I don't know. This is a good question. I feel like it's a good question. How do you balance that?
I think that with time, getting amped will calm down. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to fast track that time. If I'm playing this game for 5 years, I don't think every APP tournament I'm going to be screaming at the top of my lungs.
That's fair.
I think like, you know what I mean? There's a reason none of the top guys in the PPA are doing it, So I think I'm trying to adopt that.
We all have our thing. It's better to play calm and have relaxed feet at the kitchen, but we see James Ignatowicz, one of the best players, acting like he's hitting a jackhammer 24/7. So just because it's not common doesn't mean it's not right. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
We'll check in later next year and we'll see where we're at. If you need to jack things up and turn it up to 11 again, I'd love to see it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. And speaking of that, number 6, my last thing on the list is to play your game. Pickleball is all about staying in your comfort zone as much as you can and then taking opponents out of their comfort zone. If somebody has a bad backhand, we're hitting to their backhand every single time in a tournament. If somebody is terrible at hitting overheads, we're lobbing them every single point. To a certain degree, I'm not talking about rec, of course. I'm talking about, high stakes tournaments here. But I feel like that is paramount is, we want to stick with what we're best at and really lean into that in a tournament competitive setting.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
Fair
is that
to
what
say.
you try to do? Yeah. Okay. In terms of, playing your game, what advice do you have for players, like especially for yourself when you were, working your way up to this pro level? Like how can players figure out what is their natural style and how did you find yours working your way up to where you are now?
You're saying play style or confidence style?
Play style, which is leaning into confidence, that is directly connected to your play style.
I feel like day one, when you pick up the paddle, you know what kind of player you are.
Day one.
Like, do you like being aggressive? Do you like being defensive?
What's funny is for me and my brother coined ourselves as the Banger Boys day one because we just loved to rip. We'd play in my dad's community and they wanted to dink everything. And we had the age on our side, so we would just rip everything. Right. But now it's the opposite. I'm a dropper, I'm a dinker, I'm an angles guy. So I've completely changed. So I'm refuting your statement right there.
Okay. Well, funny enough, I think that I think I had this thought, like this might have been a couple of years ago when I was playing paintball, but it definitely comes over to pickleball too. And that thought is whatever you do, I forget. No, maybe it was for pickleball. I don't know, whatever. But whatever you do, like in your life, that style with everything, it transitions to this. For instance, like if you play a video game, are you an attacker or are you a defender? Are you a healer? Are you like the tank, the guy that like takes the damage for the team? Or are you the guy that wants to go in, kill, whatever? So however you play that, Call of Duty, how do you play that? That kind of transitions to this. Like if you're like a defensive person in general, when you play this game, you kind of be defensive. Is that true for you or no?
It kind of is. I mean, back in the Battlefield days, I was the medic,
So you're defensive.
I'm a defensive guy, right? That's a good point. Do you think that translates? Does it translate to other areas of life? Like maybe your levels of empathy, your levels of whatever it might be. Do you think there's other things that translate to how your style is in pickleball? This is a whole episode right here, Tanner, but I'm excited to break this down right now.
I think so, because the way you, like they say, the way you do anything is everything, whatever. Not even that, but just like your outlook on everything. Like, okay, I'm more defensive, I'm more reserved, like you're the medic, you're looking out for people, in real life, like you're more inclined to help others. I feel like all that kind of transitions, because I know when I played, like I used to play, I think this is maybe where it came from, like Overwatch. I'd play this guy, Genji, I think was his name. But he was like a little ninja attacker that was like one shot and then he would die right away. But he would jump all around and attack everything, And then I'm like, oh, that's kind of how I would play pickleball. Now I toned it down to fit in with my partner's style. But like if I was leading the team, I would definitely be the attacker and have like a defensive person,
So if you're playing Overwatch today, what kind of character
the attacker
would you choose? But you're a defensive style player, I thought.
Only because I know that I can get better partners if I take on that defensive role. You know what I mean?
So if you're playing with me, you're the attacker.
I think you're a great partner, but for our team, I think I just play more. So I would take on the attacking role. Unless you were comfortable with it, then you would do it and I would just back you up.
You got more reps, you got more experience, you're a better player. I think that's what I was, leaning into there with that question. I figured you'd say that. So
No.
Oh, wow. Interesting take. Your personality is your play style. All right. I love it.
It's good, right?
Yeah, that's good. And one of the last things I wanted to touch on was after my amazing top 6 list. Did you like that 6 list, by the way? Was that good? Thank you very much. I was waiting for your compliments, but I'll fish for it myself. Was that there are 2 main buckets of confidence, and I kind of touched on this earlier. In one, it's the level of realistic confidence of like, this is because you said this. You said off the court, you're a 0 out of 10, which I love. And so there's the realistic confidence of when you're not playing. And it's understanding where you are in the game, being extremely humble of seeing like what you need to work on, being very critical of yourself and how you need to improve as a player and not assuming off the court that you're some god, because that's ridiculous. everybody sucks. We all have a million things to work on. This is why players like Ben Johns are so good. Ben doesn't just assume he's the best. I mean, I'm sure he does, but you know what I mean? There's a reason why he's continually improving and learning from other players. It's because he has that humility in his mind of being able to learn and do things that other players are doing in order to improve himself. You need to have the mindset that you're not above anyone.
Right.
And that creates kind of that realistic sense of confidence per se. But then the other bucket, in my opinion, is the take no prisoners. I am better than everyone in the world. And this is the mindset that you need to have during a tournament, when we're out there competing at the highest level that you are competing at, whatever that might be. I don't care who I'm playing. Like I said, if you put Ben Johns on the other side of me and Mr. Tanner yourself, I don't care. I'm going into that hyped up. I'm going to beat you 11-0. It's not going to happen. I get that. I understand. I understand that. But I'm going to convince myself as much as possible that is true. And it's not a level of cockiness. It's something that you need to find to turn on during these tournaments and during this high level play. And then, as soon as the match is over, find a way to turn it off, of course, because you don't want to be perceived as an asshole. There's levels to it, but it's just an athletic mindset that I think is very important in order to put yourself with your best foot forward and being able to compete at the highest level, really being able to be hungry and be the best that you can possibly be out on the court, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. I think you kind of hit everything on the head. It's good to be able to channel your inner confidence when you're playing and then understand your position off the court, that it's not good to just be like that type of person. But on the court, I do think it is good to be like that, kind of like
it's
a tyrant.
It's an internal tyrant thing. It's nothing that you're going to be projecting
right.
or saying. It's all just for yourself. And yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. But I guess my final question to leave off before we transition out is for you, if you had any advice, if someone's struggling with their confidence, what's a drill, something they could work on, or like a mindset shift that they could work on right now that you'd recommend to them?
I think the mindset shift that you can work on right now is everybody that you're going against is just as nervous as you are. And if you're lacking confidence, the opponent is going to be lacking it just as you are. I think the only people that aren't lacking confidence is like the top 10 people in the PPA, probably even less, maybe top 5. But I think everybody has self-doubt at every level. I think Ben Johns probably has self-doubt as well. It's just a different level. He understands it a little better. And if you can kind of use that to your side, it helps you get over those nerves faster. And then you can kind of take down the opponents because you're more confident.
That's huge. Yeah. I think really realizing that people are just as nervous, if not more nervous than you are, is so important. Like, we're all on the same playing field here. I think that is huge to lean on, because sometimes you just think you're the only one that's nervous and on edge, but everyone's excited.
Right.
Everyone's nervous. That's where that all comes from. Cool. Well, I feel like we covered a lot there. Transitioning end of episode. I did my first tournament in forever. I've been traveling all years, as you know, and everyone knows, but I finally did my first one. I did the Kappa tournament, which is the California Pickleball Association. They put on amazing local SoCal tournaments, and sometimes I think they go up to NorCal too. Anyway, amazing California talent that comes in there. I did the open division with my buddy Indy Dagnall, who's a beast. I did qualifiers with him last year for PPA. We got bronze. We had a great run, but we lost to Matt Baca. Shout out Matt, who's a carbon athlete, and then Rafa Leonard, who's just getting better and better every single day. He's the one that beat Ben Johns in singles at a PPA. I think you might have seen that. Rafa's a beast. So we had to go against them in the semis, and it wasn't hard. It wasn't easy. It was really hard. We lost 15-9. It was a 6-point match, but they beat us pretty well. We were making a good comeback, but they held us off. And we talked about this recently, but here I want to ask for your advice. Like, if you were coaching me during this match, so we were playing well, but they were neutralizing every single dink that we put at them. Like, we'd put high angles, good pace on our dinks, and we were really moving them around, but they neutralized everything. And then if we got somewhat dead dinks, we'd try to speed it up, but their counters were so elite. They were just better counters than us, and they could outgrind us. That's why they won. So I guess my question is, like, what advice would you have for me to work on or do if I were to go back in time and play that match again for that style of play that they just, outperformed us on.
I think if they're a few things, I think if they're neutralizing your dinks, that means that that they're probably not taking control. You're trying to take control. So I would keep dinking aggressively and kind of gain control like that. And then if they are on the counterattacks, it means like you're picking bad spots for the attacks. So what I would do is when I would get the dead dink, I would kind of hold it, see where they're covering, and then the next time I get the ball, I would hit it to the opposite spot. So if you hold the dead dink and then they're like just sitting heavy backhand, then you know where to go. But besides that, if they're on everything, it just could be hard. The lobs are good.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing is like, I kept trying different spots in the speed ups, but they found a way to just like time it perfectly. Like maybe I needed to disguise it better. That's probably it.
I don't know.
More than
I have to
anything.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have good attacks.
Match should be on YouTube soon. We'll do a breakdown video of it, but I need your advice on it. But regardless, it's good to be back in SoCal. I miss it here. The community in SoCal is amazing. The players here are incredible. So I think I mentioned this on the previous episode. I'm going to be coaching a bunch in Los Angeles. So if anybody's looking for coaching in the LA area, let me know. I'm happy to help. I would love helping people improve their game, and I can't wait to compete in more tournaments around here. And it's good to be back home. Good to be back home. But that's all I got. Tanner, it's been real.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you later, dog.